So much for this, sir. Now shall you see the other? You do remember all the circumstance?
Remember it, my lord?
Sir, in my heart there was a kind of fighting that would not let me sleep. Methought I lay worse than the mutins in the bilboes. Rashly, and praised be rashness for it. Let us know our indiscretion sometimes serves us well when our deep plots do pall. And that should learn us there's a divinity that shapes our ends, rough hew them how we will.
That is most certain.
Up from my cabin, my sea gown scarfed about me, in the dark groped I to find out them. Had my desire, fingered their packet, and in fine withdrew to mine own room again, making so bold, my fears forgetting manners, to unseal their grand commission, where I found, Horatio, royal knavery, an exact command larded with many several sorts of reasons importing Denmark's health and England's too, with such bugs and goblins in my life, that on the supervise, no leisure baited, no not to say the grinding of the axe, my head should be struck off.
Is't possible?
Here's the commission. Read it at more leisure. But wilt thou hear me how I did proceed?
I beseech you.
Being thus benetted round with villainies, or I could make a prologue to my brains, they had begun the play. I sat me down, devised a new commission, wrote it fair. I once did hold it as our statists do a baseness to write fair, and laboured much how to forget that learning, but, sir, now it did me yeoman service. Wilt thou know the effect of what I wrote?
Aye, good my lord.
An earnest conjuration from the king, as England was his faithful tributary, as love between them like the palm might flourish, as peace should still her wheaten garland wear, and stand a comma tween their amities, and many such like ases of great charge, that on the view and knowing of these contents, without debatement further, more or less, he should the bearers put to sudden death, not shriving time allowed.
How was this sealed?
Why, even in that was heaven ordinant. I had my father's signet in my purse, which was the model of that Danish seal. Folded the writ up in the form of the other, subscribed it, gave it the impression, placed it safely, the changeling never known. Now the next day was our sea fight, and what to this was sequent thou knowest already.
So, Guildenstern and Rosencrantz go to't.
Why, man, they did make love to this employment. They are not near my conscience. Their defeat does by their own insinuation grow. 'Tis dangerous when the baser nature comes between the pass and fell insensate points of mighty opposites.
Why, what a king is this?
Does it not, think thee, stand me now upon he that hath killed my king, and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes, thrown out his angle for my proper life, and with such cozenage is not perfect conscience to quit him with this arm? And is it not to be damned to let this canker of our nature come in further evil?
It must be shortly known to him from England what is the issue of the business there.
It will be short. The interim is mine. And a man's life's no more than to say one. But I am very sorry, good Horatio, that to Laertes I forgot myself, for by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favours. But sure the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly?
No, my good lord.
Thy state is the more gracious, for 'tis a vice to know him. He hath much land and fertile. Let a beast be lord of beasts, and his crib shall stand at the king's mess. 'Tis a chuff, but, as I say, spacious in the possession of dirt.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to its right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship. It is very hot.
No, believe me, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
But yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord. It is very sultry as to a... I cannot tell how. But, my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head. Sir, this is the matter.
I beseech you, remember.
Nay, good my lord, for mine ease, in good faith. Sir, here is newly come to court Laertes. Believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, of very soft society and great showing. Indeed, to speak feelingly of him, he is the card or calendar of gentry, for you shall find in him the continent of what part a gentleman would seek.
Sir, his definement suffers no perdition in you, though I know to divide him inventorially would dozy the arithmetic of memory, and yet but you're neither in respect of his quick sale, but in the verity of extolment I take him to be a soul of great article, and his infusion of such dearth and rareness as, to make true diction of him, his semblable is his mirror, and who else would trace him his umbrage, nothing more.
Your lordship speaks most infallibly of him.
The concernancy, sir, why do we wrap the gentleman in our more raw breath?
Sir?
Is it not possible to understand in another tongue? You'll do it, sir, really?
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
His purse is empty already, all's golden words are spent.
Of him, sir?
I know you are not ignorant.
I would you did, sir. Yet in faith, if you did, it would not much approve me. Well, sir?
You are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is.
I dare not confess that, lest I should compare with him in excellence. But to know a man well were to know himself.
I mean, sir, for his weapon. But in the imputation laid on him by them in his meed, he's unfellowed.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons, but well.
The king, sir, hath wagered with him 6 Barbary horses, against the which he has impawned, as I take it, 6 French rapiers and poniards, with their assigns as girdle, hangers, and so. 3 of the carriages, in faith, are very dear to fancy, very responsive to the hilts, most delicate carriages, and of very liberal conceit.
What call you the carriages?
I knew you must be edified by the margentare you had done.
The carriages, sir, are the hangers.
Ah, the phrase would be more germane to the matter if we could carry a cannon by our sides. I would it might be hangers till then. But on, 6 Barbary horses against 6 French swords, their assigns, and 3 liberal conceited carriages. That's the French bet against the Danish. Why is this all impawned, as you call it?
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him he shall not exceed you 3 hits. He hath laid on 12 for 9, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
How if I answer no?
I mean, my lord, the opposition of your person in trial.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall. If it please his majesty, it is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold his purpose, I will win for him an I can. If not, I will gain nothing but my shame and the odd hits.
Shall I redeliver you in, sir?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours. He does well to commend it himself. There are no tongues else for his turn.
This lapwing runs away with the shell on his head.
I did comply so with his dug before he sucked it. Thus has he, and many more of the same bevy that I know the drossy age dotes on, only got the tune of the time, and out of an habit of encounter a kind of yeasty collection which carries them through and through the most fanned and winnowed opinions, and do but blow them to their trial, the bubbles are out.
My lord, His Majesty commended him to you by young Osric, who brings back to him that you attend him in the hall. He sends to know if your pleasure holds to play with Laertes, or that you will take longer time.
I am constant to my purposes. They follow the king's pleasure. If his fitness speaks, mine is ready, now or whensoever, provided I be so able as now.
The king and queen and all are coming down.
In happy time.
The queen desires you to use some gentle entertainment to Laertes before you fall to play.
She well instructs me.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Nay, good my lord.
It is but foolery, but it is such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind dislike anything, obey it. I will forestall their repair hither and say you are not fit.
Not a whit, we defy augury. There is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, 'tis not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all. Since no man of aught he leaves knows what is to leave betimes. Let be.
Come, Hamlet, come and take this hand from me.
Laertes, give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong. But pardon it, as you are a gentleman. This presence knows, and you must needs have heard, how I am punished with a sore distraction. What I have done, that might your nature, honour, and exception roughly awake, I here proclaim was madness. Was it Hamlet wrongly? It is never Hamlet. If Hamlet from himself be ta'en away, and when he's not himself does wrongly, it is, then Hamlet does it not, Hamlet denies it. Who does it then? His madness. If it be so, Hamlet is of the faction that is wronged. His madness is poor Hamlet's enemy. Sir, in this audience let my disclaiming from a purposed evil free me so far in your most generous thoughts that I have shot my arrow o'er the house and hurt my brother.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honour, I stand aloof, and will no reconcilement till by some elder masters of known honour I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name ungored. But till that time, I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils, come on.
Come, one for me.
I'll be your foil, Laertes. In mine ignorance your skill shall, like a star in the darkest night, stick fiery off indeed.
You mock me, sir.
No, by this hand.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace has laid the odds of the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both. But since he is bettered, we have therefore odds.
This is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all a length.
Aye, my good lord.
Set me the stoups of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath, and in the cup an union shall he throw, richer than that which 4 successive kings in Denmark's crown have worn. Give me the cups, and let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpet to the cannoneer without, the cannons to the heavens, the heaven to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
One!
No!
Judgment! A hit, a very palpable hit.
Well, again.
Stay, give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. Another hit! What say you?
A touch? A touch, I do confess it.
Our son shall win.
He's fat and scant of breath. Here, Hamlet, take my napkin, rub thy brows. The queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam, by and by.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think't.
And yet it is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You but dally. I pray you pass with your best violence. I am afraid you make a wanton of me.
Say you so? Come on!
Nothing neither way.
Have at you now!
Come again.
Look to the queen there, ho!
They bleed on both sides. How is it, my lord?
Holy Laertes. Why is a woodcock to mine own springe, Osric? I am justly killed with mine own treachery.
What is the Queen?
She soon's to see them bleed.
No. The drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. The drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Villainy. Oh, let the door be locked! Treachery, seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. Oh. In thee there is not half an hour's life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother's poisoned. I can no more. The king's to blame.
Point. Envenomed too. Then venom to thy work.
Oh, yet defend me, friends. I am but hurt.
Thou incestuous, murderous, damned Dane, drink off this potion. Is thy union here? Follow my mother.
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. Oh, I follow thee. I am dead, Horatio. Wretched Queen, adieu. You that look pale and tremble at this chance, that are but mutes or audience to this act, had I but time. As this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, oh, I could tell you. But let it be. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause arise to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. Is yet some liquor left?
As the other man, give me the cup. Let go. By heaven, I'll hat. Oh God, Horatio, what a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras, with conquest come from Poland, to the ambassadors of England gives this warlike volley.
I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite outgrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England, but I do prophesy the election lights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. So tell him, with the occurrence more and less, which have solicited, the rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Why does the drum come hither?
Where is this sight?
What is it you would see? If aught of woe or wonder, cease your search.
This quarry cries on havoc. Oh, proud death, what feast is toward in thine eternal cell, that thou so many princes at a shot so bloodily hast struck?
The sight is dismal, and our affairs from England come too late. The ears are senseless that should give us hearing, to tell him his commandment is fulfilled, that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Where should we have our thanks?
Not from his mouth, had it the ability of life to thank you. He never gave commandment for their death. But since so jump upon this bloody question, you from the Polack wars and you from England are here arrived, give order that these bodies high on a stage be placed to the view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about. So shall you hear of carnal, bloody and unnatural acts, of accidental judgments, casual slaughters, of deaths put on by cunning and forced cause, and in this upshot purposes mistook, fallen on the inventors' heads. All this can I truly deliver.
Let us haste to hear it, and call the noblest to the audience. For me, with sorrow I embrace my fortune. I have some rights of memory in this kingdom, which now to claim my vantage doth invite me.
Of that I shall have also cause to speak, and from his mouth whose voice will draw on more. But let this same be presently performed, even while men's minds are wild, lest more mischance on plots and errors happen.
Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royal. And for his passage, the soldier's music and the rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go, bid the soldiers shoot.
In Hamlet by William Shakespeare, Hamlet was played by Simon Russell Beale, Claudius, Bob Peck, Gertrude, Jane Lapotaire, Polonius, Norman Rodway, and Ophelia, Imogen Stubbs. Alan Cox played Horatio, Paul Jesson, the ghost and gravedigger, Damian Lewis, Laertes, Clifford Rose, the player king, John McAndrew, Rosencrantz, and Clarence Smith, Guildenstern. Fortinbras was Chuxibtane, Marcellus and Osric, Nicholas Rowe, Bernardo, Alan Westaway, Francisco, Alex McSweeney, the Prologue and Lucianus, Nicholas Murchie, Voltimand and the Second Gravedigger, Nick Monu, Cornelius and Ronaldo, Alex Boyd Williams, and the player queen, Stephen O'Neill. Other parts were played by members of the cast. The musicians were Susanna Stanzalite and Fiona McCapra on violins, Tim Grant and Helen Kaminga, violas, Adrian Bradbury and Rachel Van der Tang, cello, Lucy Hare, double bass, Barbara Snow, trumpet, and Phil Hopkins, drums. The music was composed and conducted by Dominique Legendre. Hamlet was directed by Clive Brill.